Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas. This is how to create a Grand Theft Auto style game in Unity, and welcome to episode 38. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at creating a wanted level, but we're going to do it in a slightly simplistic simulated style. Don't forget, click subscribe button and click on the bell icon as well to stay up to date with every tutorial still to come in this series and everything else on game development on my channel. With that in mind, let's get to work. So I've discussed it briefly a couple of times up until now about a simulated wanted level, and I think realistically what we need to do is at least start looking at getting a wanted level, because it's going to play a big part in later development. And as long as we can nail down getting that wanted level, i.e. star appearing on screen, once that's registered in a specific script in the game, we can then use that to adjust, for example, how many cops appear on the street and things like that, again, further down the line. So ultimately, what we're going to want to do is create a script which is going to contain a global wanted level. And it'll be attached to that same object that we had the global ammo on last time. So let's go and create the script that we're going to need. So we'll do it in UI. So right click, create, C# script, global, wanted. Now this may end up being somewhat messy to begin with, not massively messy, but the general idea is something that we want to work upon eventually. So although we're only going to deal with the first star in this, we're actually going to make the script see all 5 stars just in case we ever get, or rather just in case we get there sooner than I expect. So let's start this by declaring the 5 wanted levels. And I think really we should do that using an array rather than separate. So public game object, and then we'll use the square brackets to tell it that this is going to be an array. So obviously the first star is going to be number 0, second one is going to be number 1, then number 2, then number 3, then number 4. So as long as we keep that in mind, that 1 star is not number 1 in the array, just keep that in mind. But anyone who's used to coding should probably be used to this by now anyway. So we'll call this wanted stars, semicolon. Next thing we're going to do is we will add in a bool to say that we are adding the first star. So public and bool, and we'll say adding star. We'll also have an integer to detect the actual level. So public int wanted level. So we'll be able to say, yep, we know this. We'll have, in fact, do we need another bool? I'm just thinking. I think we might actually have that wanted level as static, so we can reference it from a different script, i.e. when we've hit the NPC, we can actually tell this script that we need to add a star, so it needs to do its action. So what we'll do is we will create a coroutine down here to make whatever star we need to appear on and off and then stay on. So enumerator, and we'll call this add star, close bracket, open curly bracket. And this is essentially why we are using an array for the wanted stars rather than individual variables, simply because it just makes the script a little bit smaller. So when we have the add star, what we're going to want to do is say wanted stars, and then in the square brackets, we're going to say wanted level subtract 1 dot set, not send message, I've done that a few times recently, set active in brackets true, semicolon, not trues, true. So what that's going to do at this point is, say for example the wanted level becomes 1. It's going to take the first star, because that'll be wanted level -1, which is 0, which is the first one, and it's going to make it flash on and off, or rather we're going to make it do that. So after half a second, so yield return new wait for seconds 0.5f. And I know this is a kind of cheap and cheaty way of doing it, but you know what? If it works, it works. It's not massive amounts of code, and we can physically see what's actually happening to the stars. So let's change that to false, and then we'll wait another half a second, and then we'll repeat all 4 of those lines. Now, you could add a loop here if you wanted to. Sometimes I can be a little bit lazy in the way I do things, but I only want it to flash, let's say 5 times. I mean, I suppose we could do a loop, but I just want to go for quick and easy at this point. So copy and pasting is definitely quick and easy. So then after it's flashed 5 times, we want it to stay on the screen. Now, obviously, we're going to work later on with getting rid of a wanted level. So after so long, when the cops haven't found us or anything like that, the wanted level decreases, so the star disappears. But again, keep in mind that we're just going for a simulated wanted level at this point. So what now? Well, in void update, we need to make sure that whenever wanted level changes and we're not adding a star or anything like that, then we need to work with that and start this coroutine. So let's get rid of that, and then let's see, what should we do here? I'm thinking the best way of doing this at the moment is probably going to be if we have no, wanted level, no, adding star. So if adding star equals false, then open curly brackets. So we're going to have to expand this. So we'll also add a static bool to say that we need to add a star. So public static bool, and we'll say, I'm trying to think of a way of wording this without making it sound too similar to adding star. We'll put activate star, so it is a little bit different. So if adding star is false and activate star equals true, then at that point we will say activate star equals false, because we are already in this if statement. Adding star equals true. And ultimately, I don't think we probably need both of these variables. So it's a case of, you know, we get it working and then refine it. You'll do that quite a lot in coding. So after we have done that, we'll say start coroutine, and in brackets add star, open close bracket, semicolon. So what are we doing here? We're going to get the script to change the wanted level to 1, and then we're going to activate the star, which means this will activate, which means then we are activating a star. So we're adding a star. So then we start this coroutine. And after the coroutine has stopped, we can then basically just carry on as normal. So realistically, that whole script should work. So I'm going to save that script, head back into Unity, and it's compiled. There we go. And let's add the global wanted to our globals object up here. So now click on here and change the size to 5 because we have 5 stars. So element 0 is wanted 1, then wanted 2, 3, 4, and 5, and save. Now we theoretically shouldn't have anything happen now because we have not told that script that we need to display any stars or anything of the sort just yet. So I just want to make sure that nothing happens right now. Shouldn't do anyway. Okay, that's good. So in order to get that working, what I want to do is when we basically knock down our NPC, shoot them, then we need to initiate that script to add 1 star to simulate that we have got a wanted level. So let's go to our NPC, and he is here. So NPC death is the script that we need. And in here, when we have shot him, which is right here, so end NPC, what we can do is we can either put it at the beginning or after. I'm thinking probably as soon as we've shot him that we should start the global wanted level appearing. So at the beginning of that coroutine, you need to put global wanted dot activate star equals true. But before that, we also need to say global wanted dot wanted level plus equals 1. Now, the reason we're not making it equal to 1 is because, for example, if we already have a wanted level, it's going to set it as 2, for example, which means that the second star is also going to display. But at the moment, it doesn't really matter too much. Now, let's just make sure that this sequence works as intended. So we should be able to go get our weapon, go get our ammo, get the NPC, and then the first star should flash to signal that we have a 1 star wanted level. So everything should hopefully work out. Fingers crossed. Okay, so obviously we can't shoot him because we have no ammo. Let's go get that now. Are you ready, fella? Ready? There we go, and there's our star. We now have a 1 star wanted level. Now obviously that's not going to change much in the game as it stands because there is nothing tied to that wanted level yet. But again, when we get further into development and start working on cop AI and all stuff like that, that will become relevant because it means then that if a cop spots you, for example, as he's doing his walk around the town, if your wanted level is at least 1, then he's going to have to react. So that's something to develop AI-wise further down the line. So next tutorial, what I want to do is bring in a vehicle. Because if you recall, Tony Bono over here says to drive to Summertown. So we're going to need a car to get there. So we're going to start looking at vehicles in the next tutorial. Until then, guys, thank you very much for watching.